Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here, and I'm going to show you guys my first match against IndyPride from the Scan Intel Total War Rome 2 Invitational Tournament. And yeah, this is my first match, and the footage and the commentary won't be mine. This will be coming from Team Dignitas. They sent two representatives, Dogbert and Mechachomp, and these two gamers happen to be big fans of Total War, and they wanted to see a tournament take place for this game. And they put together this really awesome tournament with awesome commentary, awesome participants. Well, basically, they're all my friends, so of course they're awesome. And yeah, I just want to show you our match. And I did not want to use my footage because my footage sucks. And I think it's refreshing to hear, you know, an outside commentator comment on your own game. It's refreshing. So I'll let you guys see the match and tell me what you think.
Where can you find the battle Ironheart is in? It's not being streamed, I'm afraid. He was very, very, very late. We were going to stream him versus Pointman to start with, but he didn't show up for a long time, so we had to go with someone else, sorry.
There you go. PrinceofMacedon, sup everyone. My Sarissa is already up.
That's an interesting army.
Gotta wait and see what the other one is first.
Yeah. Whose battle is this? This is PrinceofMacedon versus IndyPride.
Yep, PrinceofMacedon. Finally, we got him in the game.
Awesome, from Western Australia. Ah, you guys, how are you up so early and or late?
I wish the chat thing was a bit bigger so I could show everyone. Hopefully you can read that, in case you can't. Say hello to the PrinceofMacedon.
Say hello to all Total War fans out there. Yeah, PrinceofMacedon says hi to you guys. Congrats.
So, everyone in chat, who's going to take it? Milk and Cookies, playing as... What faction is he playing as? Rome?
I think so.
I think he's playing as Rome, and oh, the pyramids in the background. Couldn't think of a better place. Or the Macedonian Prince of Macedon himself leading the Macedonians into battle. I said Macedonians so many times in that sentence. Macedonians. And both guys are ready, and we're going to go into our first game. Here we go! You know when people say here we go and then nothing happens? There we go.
Right. So let's have a quick chat about this army that PrinceofMacedon has fielded. He's got all pikemen, along with a little bit of cavalry, light shot cavalry. Really interesting.
I won't lie, I like this army. This is a no-nonsense rush army. He is going to get in there and he is going to go to battle. And I mean, the army I'm more interested in is the Roman one here. I mean, we know what Macedon has. They have pikes and cavalry. I mean, what kind of cavalry, actually? It's a good point.
It's light shot cavalry, so...
Light shot cavalry. So, for the first time, we're going to actually watch a battle where the Romans maybe have superior cavalry here. And the Romans have elephants. There are elephants on the field.
No, don't do this again.
Elephants.
No.
Now, this is actually quite interesting, because historically, when the Romans did actually fight the Macedonians, they did actually have a contingent of elephants. And they were given to them by their recently conquered nation of Carthage. Obviously, Carthage hadn't been burned to a crisp at this point, but they were a client nation to Rome, and they gave them elephants, which they fought and defeated the Macedonians with. Obviously, the elephants didn't actually take part in the battle, but they were there. So we have a lot of Praetorian Guard here. Obviously, we were talking in chat earlier about how literally Praetorian Guard are the worst guards in the entire world, as they did literally nothing to stop anyone from being killed. There's a lot of gladiators on the field here. Now, gladiators are very powerful units, and some of them have been run over by the elephants. That was good. Now, they're very good for killing off cavalry, and they're very, very annoying to deal with.
Someone's just asking about the last minute rule. The last minute rule is the draft picking system, which we had to implement at the last minute in a bit of a rush, because it was brought up by a fair few of the players as a concern about how long actually picking a faction would take.
So as you see, the Romans have a more balanced army. They have a lot of Balearic slingers, which are obviously very, very powerful right now. He has a lot of heavy infantry. Sorry, very heavy infantry. He has a lot of gladiators, about 4 I'd say. Is that 4? No, 3 gladiators. 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit of Praetorian cavalry, and 1 unit of auxiliary African elephants, which is an extinct species of elephant, by the way, in case you don't know. I mean, I like Prince of Macedon's army mainly because I like the no-nonsense approach to a fight, which is basically he's waiting to get in there and cause maximum damage. He's got his cavalry here, which are obviously going to do some damage when they can, but it's the elephants might hold down that cavalry too long. But he's got the infantry advantage. He can pour in on both flanks, really. It's just how much damage is he going to take from all the Balearic slingers. So they're throwing in here, and you can see them coming in. And you see they're already starting to take casualties, but not that many. You can hear that ringing sound from the slingers as they land off the big bronze shields of the companion foot companion foot.
That's it with the slingers now. I mean, they've got to stop firing now because Prince of Macedon is charging in. And they really haven't done that much damage. I'm counting like 20 to 30 men have died. Just isn't enough to make a difference at this point.
A definite misclick, I think, from the Prince of Macedon here. He was bringing in his cavalry to try and chip off at the Balearic slingers, but he ran them straight into the Praetorian Guard from the IndyPride. But IndyPride pulls back, and more importantly, one of his units of cavalry was not pulled out in time. That could have been disastrous. He gets away, and maybe Prince of Macedon,
3 losses as well,
I think
which is really good.
Kind of comes out worse. That his cavalry took a bit more damage than he should have probably wanted to take. But his cavalry is not the important thing here. It's the infantry, and they're not taking much damage on this way in. Now, obviously, with the Balearic slingers, IndyPride is able to pull back, form up again, and start raining down stones, and that will force Prince to have to do another charge in, which he's doing now. But that 1 unit is taking a bit of a pounding. 2 units on the right side of his foot companion, are taking a bit of a punishment. But he's getting in nice and close. And you can see on the left side of the Macedonians, you've got the gladiators, who can cause a lot of damage when they get free rein behind the enemy line. Cavalry also coming on the right of the Macedonians. Basically, he's finding himself surrounded on all sides. But he has an ace up his sleeve. It's just when will he deploy that card?
Right, I've just got word on the Lionheart game between Pointman and Lionheart. Pointman won 2-0.
Pointman going through, and Lionheart. I think if he was on time, we'd get to see his game. But you know, but look at this. Look at the game. I mean, IndyPride had left his general out here, and he's just standing. I mean, is he going to get away? Oh, he's so close.
Ooh.
Almost didn't get away with his general there.
And he's getting outflanked, but I don't really think it matters.
I mean, this is the whole idea of Prince of Macedon's army here, is he has 2 large groups of infantry, and they're all really good. I mean, his Forex pikemen are bringing up a rear, and his foot companions are in the front. His foot companions can pretty much deal with anything that IndyPride has infantry-wise, as long as they're not horrifically outnumbered.
See what Prince of Macedon's doing with his shot cavalry now.
Incoming the light shot cavalry. We have a proper hammer and anvil style battle here, and in he goes right into the rear. Hammer and anvil just coming in really hard here. But you can see that the Romans are quickly trying to redeploy. They're bringing in Praetorian cavalry, bringing in the elephants, but they're bringing them into a really weird area because there's a lot of pikemen around here. Maybe the only thing Prince of Macedon hasn't done here is he hasn't disengaged quick enough from those skirmishes. Now he's going to find himself in a head-on fight with the Praetorian cavalry. But as you can see, there's a mass amount of routing going on right now. There's just a huge amount of fighting going on. The cavalry is coming in from the rear. Praetorian cavalry are going to try and do their own hammer and anvil tactic here. And they might actually pull it off unless this pike unit can turn quickly. And they don't. This is an absolute cluster of just units everywhere engaged. I still think this kind of battle will favour the Macedonian pikes, but I'm not sure. There's damage going on everywhere, and the Macedonian cavalry is being destroyed.
If those thorax pikemen, if they're taken out quickly enough by these gladiators and the Praetorian Guard and everything, and if he can sandwich into those foot companions, because there's a couple of those foot companions units are standing still, not doing anything. They're not actually engaged. They're not fighting. That's another really big problem. You can't leave your units not doing anything. There's a thorax pikeman unit right there that's not doing anything.
I completely missed coming in on side. I mean, they've been swiped by elephants, but they're straight into the back of the Praetorian Guard again. But the problem is they're not doing enough damage to the Praetorian Guard. The Praetorian Guard has chewed up Prince of Macedon's general. Macedonian general is dead on the field now. And those gladiators are causing so much damage.
There's 5 units of Prince of Macedon. Prince of Macedon, they're not doing anything. They're standing still and they're not fighting. And that's why he's losing, because every single one of IndyPride's units were doing something. They were either moving or into position or they were fighting. Whereas Prince of Macedon, he just left his units standing still, not fighting. And that's probably the biggest reason he's lost. Not only did he get surrounded, but the units that he kept in the back line to try and counter a surrounding, like, they should have worked fine, but they just weren't doing anything. They were standing still.
I think it very much came down to the fact that he brought in his light cavalry, and they didn't do the damage, but to be honest, they really should have. They came in, they hit the right spot in the enemy line, but they just didn't break. They didn't cause enough damage when they spammed into the back.
Exactly.
Instead of throwing 3 units into 1 unit, he should have probably spread out and just tried to make as much harassment along the line as he could. But it was just a massive blob of Praetorian Guard, which just held the line for so long.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good game. I mean, you can see the losses is 200 losses difference there. So, I mean, IndyPride just really played that really well. And I think Prince of Macedon maybe dropped the ball a little bit with the units he just wasn't using properly.
I think his army was fine. I think he did everything he could. I think it came down to his cavalry just not being as good. And it gave the Roman cavalry enough time to constantly be getting behind them. They just were a lot more active.
Yes, exactly.
But he knew what was going to happen. He wanted to walk straight into... yeah. He walked into the trap. He knew what was going to happen. He had set up his cavalry ambush perfectly, by the way. Like, Macedon set the ground for a perfect cavalry charge, and it just didn't do the damage which it probably should have.
Those cavalry, they were light shot cavalry, and they just didn't do enough damage. You need to change the screen on stream.